First, we want to figure out what the proportions of our bird are. And I'm going to use my pencil as a measuring tool for this. First, my bird is going in a diagonal direction. And I can figure that out by putting my pencil like this and saying, hey, he's moving in a diagonal direction. Next, I want to measure his head. I want to see how wide his head is, because I'm going to use his head to measure how big his body's going to be. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to put my fingers where his head ends. And I'm not going to measure where his beak is because I want to know where his head ends. So from here to where my fingers are, that's how big his head is. And I'm going to use that on my pencil. So I'm going to start down here. There's 1. There's 2. So his body seems to be as big as 2 of his heads. So his head was this big, and his body, doot, doot, is more like this big. Okay, so that's 2 heads. Now I'm going to take his head measurement again, get my fingers in the right spot. There it is again. And I'm going to measure his tail. Let's go to the end of his tail here. 1. Oh, looks like it's 1 and just a little bit more right there. So his tail is a little bit wider or a little bit longer than his head is this way. And now I want to figure out his wing. So get the measurement of his head again. Bring it up to his wing. 1, 2. Looks like his wings are about 2 widths of his head. So both his body and his wing are 2 of his heads. And his beak is about half of his head. Okay, so use your pencil as a measuring tool. Let's look at his feet. Let's get his head measurement one more time. Boop, there it is again. And looks like his feet are about as wide as his head. And that is how you can get some proportions when you start to draw. So you know if your head's looking too big, then that means you probably didn't draw your body big enough.